Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. Now, when you use my fast cooking system, you can cook almost any type of dishes that you would like. This is a good example. This dish is the famous American Chinese dish, which frequently known as egg foo young, and many of you probably have heard it before. Now, I normally do not like egg foo young, but with the modification that I introduced by my friend Alec, I really enjoy this dish. So I thought I would share with you how to cook this dish. This dish is a lot of fun to cook because it's very fast. It takes only about a few minutes. First of all, I'm going to cook this dish in my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil to the wok, and I'm going to season the wok. Now, the reason I choose the stainless steel wok is because it is very easy to clean and maintain, and furthermore, it is quite easy to season the wok, and all you have to do is to use my spot seasoning method. However, with a stainless steel wok, you have to season the wok each time before you start a cooking session. So I'm going to heat up the oil until the oil reaches its smoking point, and I let it to smoke for about 15 seconds. And during that time, I turn down the heat or turn it off completely because I do not want the oil film to get out of control. And in this case, you have minimum amount of oil films released from this process. And to cook this dish, I'm going to use 4 eggs because it's going to be a light dinner. Now, normally I probably will use about 6 eggs, so there will be 3 eggs for my wife and I, but in this case, we're only going to have 2 eggs. Now, as you notice that as soon as I add the egg to the wok, it starts to cook almost immediately because the oil is at its smoking point. And then I add some frozen vegetable, which contains carrots, green beans, peas, sweet corns, and edamame. They go directly from the freezer to the wok. It turned out that based on my personal experience, this is the best way to cook frozen vegetables because it will help you to maintain the texture as well as the flavor of the frozen vegetable. As you can see that I start to fold the egg around the ingredients in the middle, and this is why this dish is known as a scrambled, because it's a cross between a scrambled egg and an egg omelette. Okay, now I flip it over a couple of times, and the dish is done. As you can see that this dish is extremely fast to cook. The texture of the egg turned out to be actually quite important. For example, I like the egg to be relatively fluid, but some people like the egg to cook much more, so it's very much up to you. And this is the part where flavor chasing comes in, which is an important part of my fast cooking system. Once you understand the principle as well as the process of how the cooking process takes place, you can make adjustment accordingly. So sometimes you might want a particular dish, the egg cooked a little bit longer, but some other time you might want to cook it a bit lighter. So these are some of the choices that you have. In fact, the egg foo young dish across the United States has some variations. In the East Coast, they tend to cook the egg longer, whereas in the West Coast, they cook it lighter. Okay, now the dish is done. I'm going to set it aside because the next step is going to make the gravy. I'm going to make the gravy directly in the stainless steel wok. The gravy is made by using cornstarch. I'm going to use about 1 part of cornstarch to 4 parts of water to make a cornstarch water suspension. And it is important that you mix the cornstarch water suspension as thoroughly as possible. That's why I put it in this bottle. It will allow me to mix them more effectively. So the next step is that I'm going to pour this directly into the wok. The wok is actually it's being heated at low. And as you notice that it starts to gel almost immediately. So it obviously is much thicker than what I want. But I'm not worried about it because a cornstarch water suspension can be easily adjusted to the consistency that you would like. So I have added some hot water. It is a good idea to add hot water because you will not cool down the cooking process. So next I add additional amount of hot water to adjust the gravy to the consistency that I want. Now, to make this gravy, I decided I'm going to add some mushroom. Now, the mushroom actually work much better in the gravy than directly added to the egg, because the mushroom takes a little bit of time to cook, and it is perfect to put it into the gravy, because while I'm adjusting the consistency of the gravy, I will be able to cook the mushroom at the same time. In here, I use some portobello mushroom, and I don't need to use a lot of them, because that will give me the flavor that I want. And then I add a touch of the frozen vegetable, the same frozen vegetable that I use in putting inside the omelette. And really, the frozen vegetable that I put in making the gravy is to provide an aesthetic appearance, to make it colorful, and so make the dish more attractive. And next, I'm going to season the gravy. I'm going to start out by using oyster sauce, which is excellent for almost create any type of sauces, because oyster sauce is rich in umami flavor. And so it will give the gravy a nice savoriness, which I want it to be. And as you notice that the consistency of the gravy start to change as I continue to stir it. I'm going to make some final adjustment toward the end. After I did a quick taste test, I decided that I wanted a bit more saltier. So I'm going to add some soy sauce. The soy sauce will add saltiness to the gravy, and it will provide a complement to the oyster sauce. Now, this gravy actually is very similar to other type of gravy that you make, such as gravy for mashed potatoes, gravy for Thanksgiving turkey, or even as gravy with biscuit. So this is why this dish is so popular, because the gravy resembles many of the American dishes. After I did a taste test, I added additional amount of soy sauce to adjust to the flavor that I want. This is a good example of flavor chasing. Instead of adding a specific amount right to the dish, I'm going to continue to taste test until I find the flavor that I want. Last but not least, I'm going to add a few pieces of carrot. Again, this for enhancing the appearance of the gravy, and in this case also add some texture to it. Okay, now the gravy is ready, and I have achieved the consistency that I want, which you can adjust it according to your own preference. Now you can consider this gravy as a template, because you can use this gravy for many different types of dishes. One of the dishes that I make in the past is a chicken and mushroom dish. And the last step in preparing this dish is that I'm going to add some garnish. The first thing I'm going to do is to add some fresh cucumber. This is followed by some cherry tomatoes that I have sliced in half. Now, garnish turned out to be really important for the dish. First and foremost, it's able to enhance the visual appeal. And also, depending on the garnish that you use, it will increase the complexity of the dish. The garnish also has great nutritional value. Some of the garnish that you use can enhance digestive health, and some of them can improve the level of antioxidants. It can also improve the fiber content of the dish. So there are many possible ways that you can garnish your dish, and it is something that you should always keep in mind. If you have extra ingredients that you can use for garnishing, it is definitely a positive step to make the dish better. Next, I'm going to serve the dish with some white rice. Now, this dish actually goes extremely well with rice because of the gravy that comes with it. And this is one of the reasons probably why this dish has achieved great popularity in the American Chinese restaurant. Because many people are familiar with gravy in other type of meal. And so having gravy together with this dish greatly enhance the culinary experience that one can get from eating this egg foo young. Now this dish is very different when it's prepared in China. In China, they do not add gravy to this dish. I remember when I first come across this dish, I did not like it at all. But I really enjoyed this particular approach with the addition of cucumber, tomatoes, and carrots to garnish the dish. And it creates a nice texture, which I really enjoy. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine as a viable alternative to fast and ultra-processed food. If you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.